Ladies and gentlemen, step right up and bear witness to one of the most astonishing tales in Olympic history. I'm talking about the one, the only, the Louisville Lip himself, Cassius Clay, otherwise known as Muhammad Ali. This young, charismatic boxer floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee and cracked jokes all the way to the gold medal in the 1960 Olympics. It's 1960, and the world is about to be introduced to a boxer unlike any other. Cassius Clay wasn't just a fighter. He was a performer, a showman, and a master of the one-liner. He trash-talked his opponents, recited poetry at press conferences, and generally made everyone around him question whether they were at a boxing match or a comedy club. But Clay was a beast in the ring. He moved with the grace of a ballerina and the speed of a cheetah, if cheetahs could throw left hooks. His unorthodox style left his opponents dazed, confused, and wondering if they maybe shouldn't have taken up a safer sport. Clay's path to the Olympics was full of comic moments. Like, everyone knew that he was afraid of flying. Well, he didn't just conquer his fear of flying, he made it his mission to entertain every single person on that plane. He would walk up and down the aisle offering autographs to his fellow passengers, telling them that they were lucky to be breathing the same air as a future Olympic champion. Some people found it charming, and others were probably wondering if they could parachute out of the plane. Once he arrived in Rome, Clay wasted no time in making his presence known. He'd strut around the Olympic Village like he owned the place, challenging other athletes to impromptu boxing matches, cracking jokes with anyone who would listen. Some of his fellow Olympians probably thought he was a little crazy. But hey, greatness often looks like insanity to the untrained eye. But it was in the ring that Clay was really shown as a genius. He'd dance around his opponents, making them look like they were in slow motion. And just when they thought they had him cornered, he'd hit them with a flurry of punches that seemed to come out of nowhere. And the trash talk? Oh, the trash talk. He would taunt his opponents mercilessly. He would tell them things like, "I'm so fast that I shut off the light switch in my motel room last night and I got in bed before the room got dark." Just smart aleck things like that. Clay's Olympic triumph was more than just a sporting achievement. It was a tour de force, and it showed the world that you could be a champion and still have a sense of humor, and that you could dominate your opponents and still make them laugh, even if it was through gritted teeth. And that legacy of laughter would follow Clay throughout his career. As Muhammad Ali, he became known as much for his quick wit as for his quick fists. He'd go on to have some of the most iconic trash-talking moments in sports history, like when he told George Foreman, "I've wrestled with alligators, I've tussled with whales, I've done handcuffed lightning, and thrown thunder in jail." In the end, Clay's performance at the 1960 Olympics won him the gold medal. And sure, Ali may have charmed the world with his quick wit and fists, but behind all that glitz and glamour, there were some pretty juicy controversies brewing, from questionable romantic entanglements to rumored run-ins with the law. Clay's time in the ring was anything but boring. First up on our scandal tour, we have Clay's reputation as being a bit of a ladies' man. Now, I'm not saying that he was the Olympic Village Hugh Hefner, just that he had a way with words. And there were rumors about his romantic escapades. There were people who said they saw him with a different girl on his arm every night. And there were even whisperings of a secret rendezvous with a certain blonde bombshell actress. Of course, Clay denied all of the allegations, claiming that he was as pure as the driven snow. Next up, we have the curious case of Clay's medicine. There were ramblings that during the Olympics, Clay was taking some sort of concoction that was giving him an edge in the ring. Some say that it was nothing but a secret energy drink. but others believe that it was a performance-enhancing drug. The truth, still a mystery. What we do know is that Clay was seen by a journalist chugging a suspicious-looking liquid before a fight. And when he was asked about it, he just winked and said, "That's my medicine, baby." Now, whether that medicine was a harmless herbal tea or something a bit more nefarious, we may never know. But one thing is for sure, it sure did add to his bad boy image. Finally, we come to the tale of the brawl that almost got Cassius Clay kicked out of the Olympics. The story goes like this. Clay was out on the town with some of his fellow Olympians when they got into a heated argument with some local dudes. Words were exchanged, insults were hurled, and fists were flying. Allegedly, Clay was right up in the middle of it all. The police were called to break it up, and Cassius Clay narrowly escaped being arrested and disqualified from the Olympics. Of course, he later said that he was just defending his friends and that the other guys started it. But come on, when you're a boxer, it's pretty hard to convince people that you weren't looking for a fight. So it seems Clay's stay in Rome was nothing if not eventful. But despite all the controversy and the chaos, Clay was a force to be reckoned with, in and out of the ring. His larger-than-life personality and undeniable talent would make him a global icon. And contrary to popular belief, the Olympics aren't all about sportsmanship and unity, at least when Cassius Clay is around. He turned the Rome Games into his own personal soap opera.